Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw. I'm here with Lia Batkin, who is co-founder of In the Know Experiences. Now, this is a new kind of travel agency that formed just about over a decade ago, and we're going to find out all about it and how it's grown. And this is Insider Travel Report. Now, Lia, I only recently found out about your agency, but you've been around since 2007. Can you tell me, how did you, well, first of all, what is In the Know Experiences? Explain exactly the agency.
Sure. In the Know Experiences is a luxury travel and lifestyle company. So we, of course, plan luxury travel for our clients, but also encompass lots of other things outside of travel, nightlife, activities, birthday parties, all sorts of things that go simultaneously with travel.
And what is your sort of client base exactly?
Sure, it's definitely on the higher end of the spectrum, mid-30s to mid-50s, but we like to say it's more of a psychographic than a demographic, really people that are looking for something a little bit more interesting, a little bit more outside the box, pretty untraditional.
And exactly, how many people do you have on staff?
Sure, we have 16 full-time on staff, and then we have 46 independent contractors.
So you are a host agency as well, right?
Yes, we are.
Now talk a little bit about how you decided to found it. What's your background exactly?
Sure. My background is luxury publications. I started my career at Gotham and Hamptons magazine, and then moved on to Robb Report magazine. I was the fashion director there on the business side, and then went on to launch luxury lifestyle magazine with The Atlantic.
And your co-founder, what is his background?
Sure, Seth has...
Seth Kaplan?
Seth Kaplan, yes. He worked in fashion on the operations side, and he also had a construction business that worked with nightlife, restaurants. So we both kind of had that lifestyle element, knew lots of people in that world. So, we did come up with this idea, and if you'd like me to...
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. Most people think back in 2007 or 2006, when you're thinking about this, the last thing on the world they would do is going a travel agency, at least from the outside world, right? So what was it that drove you to create this company?
It's very true. So we actually just started dating, and we took our first trip together to South America. It was planned by a travel professional, and it was kind of just what they thought we should be doing. And so we went on the trip and really felt that this was completely not in tune to what our interests were. We were in the wrong place at the wrong time, the wrong accommodations, the wrong locations, even recommendations from friends about restaurants, nightlife, activities, things that completely changed within a year. And so we had this aha moment of thinking, there has to be a better way of planning trips for people like ourselves who the accommodation and the flight are actually not the most important part of the trip. It's everything else that really creates the full experience. So we came back and we looked around to see if there was a company like that could help us plan our travels going forward. And at the time, really couldn't find one. It was really more of traditional agencies, or you had concierge companies, and so none of those really fit the bill. So we thought that there was definitely a niche out there for a company to focus on a younger, savvy demographic at the time, because we thought that we could speak to the people that were our age at the time. We were 25, 24, and 26. So that's really how it was born.
And how did you actually physically start? I mean, how many people did you have at the beginning?
Well, it was Seth and I doing this on the side. Okay. We continued to do our regular jobs and really didn't even have the inkling that this would become what it is today. Our friends, our parents, everyone, of course, thought we were absolutely crazy to start a travel company. OTAs were very, busy and big at that time.
Well, we still get that today. How could you go into the travel agency business? Because, obviously they don't exist, right?
That's exactly what people told us. But we really saw that our age demographic was looking for something different, looking to go to places like Turkey Turkey and China and Colombia, all these amazing destinations that our parents would have never thought to travel to. And those were places that we really saw, you know, a focus on food and, you know, all sorts of different passion points that you couldn't book on Expedia. And at the same time, the more traditional travel companies weren't focusing on that. And we also really saw, and after doing a lot of research, that friends and colleagues in our age demographic were more than happy to outsource and kind of realize that our
They want the service too, yeah.
Exactly, exactly. And but then they were willing to pay for it, which was a disconnect from maybe our parents, which grew up not paying for, you know, a service like that, because travel consultants made the commission from, you know, whatever they were selling. But we really felt like we could provide a product that was different and special and charge for that product.
So you charged initially for a fees,
Always.
right?
Yes, always. That being said, we did really push anyone and everyone to book hotels through us because, quite frankly, we didn't have a business. We didn't know what we were doing. We had no travel background. Working at Rob Report magazine, I worked with Virtuoso quite a bit, so I did know what Virtuoso was. So that gave us a little bit of background to start on, and, you know, having traveled a bunch when we were younger and really kind of knowing, I would say, the top 20 luxury, you know, hotels in the world were maybe our base, you know, of this, and looking out there for host agencies, because we knew that that was the only way that we could start this business, and everyone turned us down at the time.
Really, because you had no experience, right?
Exactly. Yeah. We had no business, we had no experience, no one would take us, everyone laughed at us, and finally we convinced an agency to let us be a host agent of a host agent.
A hosted host, yes, I know
basic,
those, yeah,
right. So no one knew we existed. Yeah. And I mean, we didn't know how to book air. We would book air on delta.com. We didn't even have access to Virtuoso. We would just call the hotels and introduce ourselves and talk to them and form relationships. And that really was the basis of our business too, of the relationship building and getting to know the people at the properties and, you know, the vendors that we were working with. And so we felt early on that that was just as important as our clients. And the better relationships we had with the vendors, the better our clients' experiences were going to be. And also the more information we could get, because quite frankly, we didn't really know much. So
it was a learning experience all the way, right?
It absolutely was. And some of those first relationships are still some of our closest friends today. And they believed in us and saw that, you know, there was potential for this and potential for this demographic. I think, you know, with the companies that we went to, and again, even our parents, there was just no room for a younger traveler. They didn't have money. You know, why would they use a service? So, you know, building those relationships was really important for us, because then that, you know, elevated our status when clients went to go and stay at hotels, and you know, and they would also tip us off to interesting things going on in the cities.
Which became the key to your success because you had the experiences there.
Exactly. So that actually came a little bit later. We felt like the clients that were on ground were, you know, what we were creating for them, you know, took tons of research and time, and they were really loving that. And they started asking for things that were more and more outside the box. And so what we did initially was develop relationships in about 15 different countries of on-ground people like us. So people that, you know, maybe had more like cool jobs, PR, you know, people, production people, nightlife people who were really tapped in, who could give us information about those cities and maybe be a connection point if we needed something in those cities. So that was a really...
You had your own kind of on the ground in all these destinations contact that could help you out, right?
We did. And it proved very fruitful, and it was great working relationships, and, you know, we used them when we needed and paid them, you know, and when we needed. And of course, it was great for us because, you know, you can't know everywhere. So as time went on, these clients started asking for more and more outside the box experiences. So we started developing very, very, very intricate ones, and that kind
Something that nobody else could offer, right, pretty much.
I mean, at the time, we were really the only company providing these once-in-a-lifetime experiences. Experience wasn't even a word then, and now, every company wants to provide it, whether it's travel or, fashion.
Was experiences always part of your name, or?
It was. Well, actually, no, I take that back. The first name was In the Know Travel, and unfortunately, there is a blog out there called In the Know Traveler, so we decided early on to change the name, which I think actually encompasses more of what we do anyway.
Well, experience is all it's and of course now the word is what, transformational or something, right? We've gone past experience, but you had it down from almost the beginning, right?
We did. We tried. So we were doing this for clients, and it was very much by word of mouth. Our whole company really has been developed and grown by word of mouth, and I think being at Robb Report and seeing how that business had grown by word of mouth and the love that the clients and the readers had for that magazine really resonated with us and made us want that for our company and want the people that worked with us as clients, as employees, as vendors, to really have a love of the company and see that we, were doing something different. As time went on and we were doing these experiences, agents started hearing about them and started saying to us, well, can we sell these to our clients? These sound great. And we said, why not? So a whole section of our company really developed out of that, that now today is a huge part of the company that not only sells to our clients, but sells to other agencies.
Oh, so you will work with other agencies, right?
Absolutely. It's a huge, huge part of our company. And also we white label the services to corporations, credit card companies. So it's been really great. And, us being not a membership-based company, we really work on an ad hoc, you can use this as much as you want or as little as you want, has enabled, the clients that maybe will come to us for tickets or experiences, then to come to us for travel and then refer friends maybe for travel or tickets. So it's really developed in this nice referral-based community, and that's really what we strive for.